Well, hello, and I want to thank you for tuning into our YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about what is the notice of default. If you're falling behind on your mortgage payments and you've received this notice in the mail, the notice of default, maybe it's attached to your door or whatever. Um, your understanding of what is occurring is really uh, it's really a must if you want to have a positive outcome through the process. So this is a legal document. It's more than just a formal warning. In North Carolina, it's actually a necessary step in the foreclosure process. And it's really signaling the lender's intent to take further action to acquire your home. So we want to break it down in some simple terms. A notice of default is issued when specific conditions are met, signaling that the borrower, has failed to meet some of their mortgage obligations that you signed up for. Notice of default, it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's tied to missed mortgage payments and a specific set of conditions that are outlined in your loan agreement, often involving several mortgage payments. So the question is, how many mortgage payments does it actually take to reach this point? It's not one or two missed payments. That's not going to get you to a notice of default. However, once you've missed three payments, which means you're like 90 days overdue, most lenders will classify your loan as being in default. But there is a federal law that requires lenders to not send you the notice of default for 120 days uh, of missed payments. So lenders may also account for factors beyond just missed payments. So you can go into get a notice of default for something beyond missed payments, such as if you aren't paying your homeowner's insurance or you haven't paid your property taxes. Many mortgages have that escrowed in the payment, so that's not an issue, but those can also trigger a foreclosure process. Mortgage payments is predominantly the cause for receiving a notice of default. Now, if you receive this notice, uh, think of it as a confirmation from your lender that your account status is more than just in that past due category. It's really a wake-up call that your loan agreement is in breach and it requires immediate attention. I just want to stress that word immediate. I think a lot of people, when they get this, it's such a traumatic event, they just try to like think it might go away on its own. But this is one thing that does not just go away. You have to take immediate action. The sooner you take action and find out what you need to do, the better the potential positive outcome. So what's in this notice of default when you receive it? It's certainly not just a piece of junk mail that you ignore and throw in the trash can. If you read through it, it's really a blueprint for you to be able to understand where you are with your lender and the status of your mortgaged property. It provides key details about your situation, and it spells out, what options you have moving forward. So let's take a little closer look at what's inside this critical document. The core of a notice of default is really a breakdown of exactly what you owe on your mortgage. Think of this section as a financial snapshot showing how deep is the issue. Here's what's typically included. You're gonna have your outstanding balance, and this is the amount of what they call the arrears, the accumulation of missed payments. There's also going to be a section about interest and fees, and what are the additional interest charges, the additional fee charges, and penalties. The other section is there's going to be specific details about which payments have been missed. It usually is stated by, the first missed payment was on such and such a date. And then the final is that there's going to be payment instructions. The lender will give you in that document how much you need to send in to bring all the arrears paid along with penalties and fees and interest. And they really want to make it easier for you to know how to resolve the problem. So this part of the notice it's meant to be really straightforward so that there's really not a bunch of guessing around about what you owe or how to calculate it. Now, for many borrowers, seeing these numbers, it puts the situation in a little clearer terms. Even if it is really hard to take when you read it, it's not a pleasant day, right? Now, receiving this notice of default, it does not mean that automatically you're going to lose your home. Most notices include a pathway to cure or to fix, how to pay the arrears and get the loan back on track. Now, some of the options that your lender might have available for you is that you should understand all of them fully. Is first and foremost is the very best option is get the arrears caught up, because as soon as you pay those arrears and get the amount that you missed, your behind payments plus any penalties and fees and interest, your loan goes back into an active current status. And so that clears the whole problems, immediately stops the foreclosure. That's the very best option. Now, they also sometimes can offer what they call a repayment option. And so if you're not able to make a lump sum payment to wipe out the arrears, sometimes the lenders will give you a repayment where you can pay a little extra each month until it's caught up. So that's another option to inquire about. The third one is lenders sometimes do a loan modification. And what that means is really just what the title, they modify the terms of the loan in such a way that's acceptable to them and to you. And basically, it's so that they can adjust the loan so that you don't have to pay all of those arrears amount immediately. Sometimes it's as simple as taking the amount of penalties and behind payments and creating another lien, another claim on the property, and filing it with the Register of Deeds. And so when you go to sell the house, that extra lien has to be paid off. So if you do that, you don't want to forget about it when you go to sell your house, because it's definitely going to affect the amount that you get down the road when you may sell your house. But loan modifications is an option that you can inquire about. And the other one is a forbearance agreement. And what forbearance means is they just like put it on hold for a period of time. They'll tell you, okay, for the next 6 months or the next year or the next 3 months, you don't have to make any payments. Okay. Now this has really messed a lot of people up, because I guess in the stress of it all, they don't realize that when that forbearance period is over, you have to pay everything owed. You have to catch it up right then. And so a lot of people during the COVID, they allowed for this forbearance pretty freely. And then when that period ended, that's what threw a lot of people into foreclosure. So you have to be aware you've got to catch it up. But the important thing is to act quickly here. The window for curing your loan, it doesn't last forever. And the longer you wait to take action, the more challenging it is to cure the loan. Now, the notice of default doesn't just inform you of missed payments, it also outlines the legal weight of inaction. The deadlines and the repercussions are spelled out so that there's no confusion about what's going to come up next. So here, that's what this section often includes. It talks about the date, the cure, or to catch the arrears up deadline. You'll see a specific date by which you need to cure the default. And this is typically only within 30 days. And that's logical, because after 30 days has passed, that's another payment period. So you've accumulated another missed payment, which means you've accumulated more fees, more penalties, and more interest. So at the end of that 30 days, the number is going to change. The other thing is they're going to talk about is the foreclosure warning. The notice will explain the further actions, like a foreclosure sale, will begin if you don't resolve the issues by the deadline. It's going to address legal expenses. It may mention that any additional legal fees, like attorney fees, which are related to the foreclosure, will be added to your debt. So all this really accumulates more rapidly than you can imagine. And then it's going to talk about your next steps in foreclosure. This includes the details about the court filings or the notice, the public notice process, if the default isn't remedied. So you want to treat this part of the notice as a written, it's basically a countdown. Failing to take action during the outlined time period, it really turns this document into a launch pad for the foreclosure proceedings. Now, it's critical to understand these deadlines, that they're legally binding and can quickly determine your next steps. A notice of default is more than just a warning. It's essentially a playbook for what's happening and what may happen next. Now, when you know how to read it and respond appropriately, then often there's still time to regain control. So if you have any questions about what is the notice of default, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. It's a free consultation. And the way you can do that is simply by going to our website, www.foreclosuresolutionsnc.com. Click on one of the contact us fields, fill out the form, and we'll be in touch. We'll schedule a time where we can really answer all your questions. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you through the process. So we don't want you to hesitate or feel pressure like we're going to pressure you. We're not. We're going to just make sure that you're aware of what all your options are, pros and cons of each. So we look forward to hearing from you if you need any help. Thank you very much.